Moving on to the question 5, this is to factor trinomials that are perfect squares. Here we have questions like this. So we have to determine whether these trinomials are perfect squares. Now if you look carefully, they're all quadratic equations. If you recall, there was this formula for a perfect square, that is, perfect square means, say now for example, 16. You can divide this, how much, take the square root, 4. This is a perfect square. 25 is a perfect square. 9, 4, and it keeps on going. 30, 36, 49, 64, and you get the picture, right? All the square roots are available. It's either plus or minus 4. Over here it's plus or minus 5, and so on. So such terms. Now, when it's quadratic, there are various ways to solve this, but first I'll try to make it easy and clear. This is a quadratic equation, isn't it? Now, if you draw the graph, oh, that was a very bad line. Now, imagine you draw this. Since it's positive 4, I know it's opening upwards, the graph. If this is a perfect square, what happens is basically it'll touch anywhere only one point and then it'll keep on going up. This will be symmetrical, but my drawing is so bad that you can you can't even understand it's symmetrical, but actually this will be symmetrical, and this will touch over here, right, only at one point. Now if it is not a perfect square trinomial, then the graph will be something like this. It's like this. Okay, this is also another very bad graph, but you get the picture, right? There'll be two solutions. Now if it is perfect square trinomial, there'll be only one solution, and now I've just not touched it, but it should touch over here. Okay, and that will be one solution only. If it is not perfect square, there will be two solutions. So how does this information help you? Now there are various ways. The calculative method is very easy. I'll tell you how this method helps you if you understand this. Take your calculators out. We will go to mode 5 and 3 to solve quadratics, right? You do not need to simplify or take the common terms, nothing. Just that you need to know what answers for x. So I will start with the first one. The first coefficient is 4, minus 42, and lastly 110. What's the answer? X1. Can you see this? There's two answers. X1 is I forgot what was the answer. 11 by 2, that is 5.5, and then we have 5. Okay, so that means there are two solutions. This is not a perfect square. Now if it is, say, I'm not sure whether this is perfect square, let's just check. Let's put the values in. 16 minus 56, and lastly we have 49. Let's see this. Here you can see the x is alone. There's only one value. It's at 1.75, but x is single. If you press again, no, there is no more answer. It's only one x. That means it's only having one solution. That means it's a perfect square trinomial. So the easy way is solve it in the calculator. Because it's a MCQ, fifth question number 5, you don't need to do the methods. So directly, if you get only one answer, only x in your calculator, then it's a perfect square trinomial. Yes is the answer. If you get two answers, no. Another way to solve this is what is used over here. Say, what is the formula for perfect square? That a plus b the whole squared formula? It is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So if this equation is in this form, then you can definitely understand that's a perfect square trinomial. If it does not obey this form, then it is not. Now here they have expanded it. So look at the first term. Look at both the first terms. Can we, I'll just erase all this and just write the formula. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Can we write this first term in terms of square, whole square? Can we write it like a whole square? How? See, x is already there, that's fine. Take square root of 4. It's 2. Yes, it's a perfect square. Easily, yes, you can write. One step check. Go to the second step. Can 110 be written as a square? Is it a perfect square? No. If you take the square root, it's not a perfect square. You can check in the calculator. Perfect square is 100. Next perfect square is 121. This is 11. Square root of 121 is plus or minus 11, plus or minus 10. So this 110 lies between, this is not a perfect square, so it does not obey this law. Whereas let's try this one. I know 16 is a perfect square, so 4x the whole square. What about this? 7. This is also a perfect square. Now, what is in the middle? First step is done. This was, both first steps were checked. Second step was wrong here, but here second step also is checked. Then you have a last step to do. The middle term, right? Middle term is 2 times AB. Now, whatever we got inside is A, this is B. So just do 2 multiplied by whatever is inside and whatever is inside. Okay? Here. And solve. Now, will we get this middle term? Let's do 2 times 7 times 2. The easy way would be 7 times 4. So for 28. 28 times 2 is for 56. And x. Let's check. Yes, this is correct. So sign doesn't matter. It can be plus or minus, doesn't matter. Here, this checks. Because there are two formulas. Why sign doesn't matter is, this can be either this one or a squared minus 2ab. Sorry, minus 2ab plus b squared. So there are two formulas, right? So it's the second one. You can see here, this was not a perfect square, so second step it was wrong. Here this was a perfect square. Yes, this was. See, next step is this is the easy one. Okay, the second, after this it should be this. Check both the perfect squares. Okay, then you go for the middle term. Is this equal to, yes, you just do minus, it can be plus also, it doesn't matter, just find this. Yes, it is true, and that's why it's a perfect square trinomial. Now here, if they are asking you to solve this, now, if your answer is to solve how to get this one, you can use your calculator, or you can just, you can see over here, this is A. If you have done the perfect square, A minus B is 7, the whole square. Now, how to do it from calculator if you're using only the calculator method? Let's look into the calculator. Here we had got x is equal to 7 by 4. This is, wait, let me just check. Yeah, 16 minus, yeah, this is the one. X is equal to, I'll write it, x equals 7 by 4. How do you solve this is basically, there are various ways. You can just take this directly inside, it will be x minus 7 by 4 and then simplify without any denominator. Or the easier way would be, because always you see there will be no denominators here. So take this division to the other side, it becomes 4 times x, right? 4x equals 7, or you can take this 4 to the other side, it becomes x equals 7 by 4. Now we have to get this side equal to 0, so take this inside, it will be 4x minus 7 is equal to 0. Now we know this is the only answer. Quadratics will have always two answers, but this is the only answer, so it is square. So that's how we get it. Okay, as long as you don't need to know the all the steps directly from calculator, you can even get this. So this is how we do it. It's very handy to do this. Now here the same method, same step. Now I can look over here. This is perfect square. Here it's 9x. Here it's 5, and check it out whether it's true or no. 9 times 5 is 45. Yes, this is a perfect square because all the three things match up. Here you need to do the same thing, but I'll just do the calculator method now. I'll show for both. Here 81 before x squared minus 90, and lastly we have 25. The answer is only x. Let's do this one as well. If there was x1, x2, it means no. So 126, 168. What are the answers? x1 and x2. So the answer is no here. Okay, this was a perfect square. This is no, it does not. So this is how we can easily solve them up. Please go through these. Same straightforward method. Now, here they have removed this common. Okay, let's just look into this one. Now, if you put this in the calculator, look over here, 36 minus 24 and 4. The answer is 1 by 3. Yes, it's a perfect square. But there is a problem. To check it, it's fine. We know, yes. But if you want to do this, it's not the correct way. I mean, if you want to get this answer. So what you basically do is, as a thumb rule, I'll again rephrase. If you just want to know yes or no, if they're just asking you whether this is a perfect square trinomial, only the answer is yes because all the three rules check. This is it. X is the only answer. Look over here. If you press equal to, there's no other answer. So yes, it is a perfect square trinomial. But whenever you have multiples, like common factors, since you need to find this, that's why I'm telling you, you need to remove the common factors out whenever you see common factors. I can see 4, 4, 4. Everywhere it's a multiple of 4. 36. We have done this in the previous, previous questions. This is distributive property. Remove 4 common out because 36 can be written as 9 times 4. 24 can be written as 6 times 4. And 4 is equal to 1 times 4. So 4, 4, 4 is common out. When you remove common terms out like 4, what remains here? 9t square minus 6t plus 1. So this is what remains. Okay, the easy way is see what's common. 2 is also common, but then again 2 will be common, but I can easily see 4. So you can just divide 36 by 4, it'll be 9. Then 24 by 4, 6. Minus is there, minus 6. And then lastly 1. Now do this. Now when we solve this, it'll be the same answer. See, these are equivalent equations. So look here. This, if you put the question, or if I put this 9 minus 6 and 1, I'm going to get the same answer. Doesn't matter. So that's why remove the common term out. 4 is outside. Now whatever is this here, you need to get it sorted out. So x equals 1/3. So 3 goes over there. It will be 3x equals 1. 3x minus 1 equals 0. This will be squared. So here it will be 3. It's not x, it's t. Instead of x, I'll put t minus 1 the whole square. This is the final answer. Now, if you directly do this and you get this answer 1 by 3, and if you do this, you will only get a part of it. The 4 is also important. So see whether there are common terms and then solve it up. That's how we basically do it. Now, these are again, okay, this is just factoring out. We have done it in the previous questions. Same problems again. Factor out. What's common over here? 4. How to check one other way is, now since you have calculated, just divide this by 4, by whatever is the coefficient over here. You get a whole number, fine. Just take 4 outside, only h square remains, and when you remove this 4 out, over here only 14 remains. Whereas if you don't get this, say now it was 54, it's not a multiple. Now you're getting a decimal point or a fraction, no. Then you do another number, say 2, and then write this. What I mean is I'll just change this question over here. Instead of 4h squared minus 56, we had minus 54. Then you can't take 4 out because we're not getting this. See, 54 divided by 4, we got a fraction. So take 2 outside. It will be 2h squared minus 27. This would be the simplified form. Okay. So it depends on highest common factor to be removed out. Here, the same thing. I can see 3 is a common factor. Sorry, not 3. 15. Which is the common factor over here. Let us only a, I guess. So only a can be removed out, okay? Because 17 is a prime number. What am I thinking? So 17 is a prime number. It can't be removed. Anything, nothing is common. So a is the only thing that's removed out. Over here, you can see q is removed out over here. Oh, now again the previous. This is a trinomial. Sorry, trinomial. We have to do this method, okay? Now here, this is not a trinomial. If you put it as mod phi 3, you will come to know 1 minus 14. We did this just a while ago. 36. You're getting x1, x2. Same thing. Do it over here. This is a perfect trinomial, so you get the answer directly. Now, some are factoring problems, some are trinomial. Check them out, each one individually. This is again straightforward. Factor them out by distributive property, or just remove this common term out. And over here you can see they have done something else. They have used this particular formula, some square of differences. What does that mean? It means a square minus b square equals a plus b, a minus b. Okay. This is the thing that has been used. Now here we have 6 common out. 6, it'll be d squared minus 6 times 15 is 90, so 96 is 16. And then we know 16 is can be written as 4 squared. So both these terms can be written as squares. It's d squared minus 4 squared. Okay. Now what happens? Here you split the terms. That will be equal to a plus b, that is d plus 4 d minus 4. That's at 6 into d plus 4 d minus 4. That's the answer. This is what we have done. Now you can do this in calculator as well. If you want, you can put this. I will just show you 1 minute. Here, if you use the calculator, mod phi 3, the same thing. What happens? What's the coefficient before d? It's 1. There is no x term or only d to the power. See, d to the power 2 is there. That's the coefficient a. There's no only d term, so it's 0 over here. And lastly, it's minus 16. Now, see over here, the answer is plus 4 minus 4. That means d minus 4, when it goes to the other side, becomes plus. I'll just write it out. This is x equals minus 4, x equals plus 4. So you have to take it inside, it will become x plus 4, x minus 4. This is the thing. Instead of x, we have d. So these are the factors. Okay, whenever there's square, you can use the mod phi 3 all the time. It will always give you the correct answer. So that's the thing. Even over here, you can use the square thing and you will get the answer. Same way, try it out. And or else you can directly do it as well. So this is how we solve these problems. It's pretty straightforward. We have solved these many times. Just pause the video and you can see the detailed steps as well. Here again, please make sure you have you're thorough with the previous questions because distributive property was before. So similar things have been used over here. And also, if you're simplifying, see, we have done the shortcut method. I hope you remember you can assume any value for this variable. Say w is equal to 1.5. Just assume w equals 1.5. Put this instead of this 1.5, solve it. Okay. And then over here also, all the 4 options, put w as 1.5 and solve it. The answer should match and that will be your correct answer. Since it's an MCQs, you can do any method to get the answer. All this, if there are 2 variables, take one as 1.5, take one more thing as 2 or 2.5 and then solve it. You will get the answer. We have done this in the previous sections. So that's it. That's a straightforward thing. Over here, if you want, you can directly solve this in calculator as well. Go to mod phi. It's a cubic problem. Cubic is given by mod phi 4. Now type this coefficient. 1, 3, it says minus 4, and lastly we have minus 12. Now see over here, x is 2, x is minus 2, x is minus 3. So let me just write x equals 2, x equals minus 2, and x equals minus 3. So take them inside. X minus 2 is one factor, x plus 2 is one more factor, and x plus 3 is one more factor. Let's compare. Yes, that's. I've just written in different order, but answers are same. So that's how we can do it. Mod phi 4 for this. Okay. So over here you have to use distributive property, and then if you want, you can check by putting a random value 1.5 for x. P can be taken as 2 or 2.5 and then solve it, match it. That's the calculator direct. Same thing, guys. Here it's the same problems. You can pause the video and check the solutions. Try to do it by yourselves. You can get only the question presentations from the link in the description. You can just download it. Try to practice by yourselves all these problems and then check for the solutions. Even a year, try to solve by yourselves and then check for it. Over here, see, you can't solve power 4. You need to simplify. That means take the common terms out. Here, n square can be removed out. See, n square and 3 over here. It's a big term. So the greatest common factor is n square and 3 is divisible in all. So you should just start dividing 42 by 3 in calculator. You'll get a whole number 14. Even 147, you'll get a whole number 149, that is. And then This you can easily check, right? Put in the calculator, you'll get the answer. So that's how we solve it. And lastly, over here as well, you can directly do this in calculator. Shift mode 5 and 4, option number 4 we just did a while ago, or you can do simplifying. Okay, but I would suggest this such problems you can directly solve it, mode 5 4, you will get the answer. Okay, so that's it. But before solving it, take the common term out. What is the common term here? 2 is the common term. I will just do this 1 minute. So what you do over here is take the common term 2, which is divisible in all. It'll be 4m cube minus 12. M squared plus 18 becomes 9. It's very important you don't write the same thing. I was tempted to write it. Now take your calculators. All you need to do is again mode 5 and 4. That's for cubic. So whatever is inside, that's 4 minus 12, 9, and there is no number, that means it's 0 constant. Now what's the answer here? I'll just write it out over here. 2 is outside. We have m equals 3 by 2. M is 0, and that's it. So I will write it out over here. M is 3 by 2 and m equals 0. So now how would you solve this? This goes to the other side, it'll be 2m. Okay, now this is, wait, let me just do this once. 2m equals 3, and this 3 goes to the other side, it'll be 2m minus 3 equals 0. Over here, m is 0 itself. You can see m is 0, so you just write m. See, whatever is inside, right? So ignore the 0, just write m. This is 2m minus 3 only. Okay, this is one factor. This is one more factor, and this is 2, right? Already we had. So the two factors, let me just, when we solve this, we got two answers. These are the two factors. But now there is one important thing which you can remember. See, when I solve, I'm getting x1 and x2, right? But look at the thing, this is cube. There must be three answers. When there was square, if it was only one answer, we squared it. Now we should have three answers, but this 0 is just one answer. This answer, what it implies is, if you understand the cubic graph, that means, okay, it's very hard to draw, but anyways, something like this, and this dips down at one point, and that's over here somewhere, and then it goes over here, like, sorry, it's something like this. Okay, it goes, that's a bad graph, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is, see, this is a wrong graph, it's negative, but anyways, it would be other way around. Okay, it cuts at 0. Yes, that is true. This is not at all the correct graph, but just look over here. This point, it touches two times. Okay, there's only one, and this is the thing. So exactly this turning point is touching this line, isn't it? So this point, whatever is there, is the square two times. Okay, so that is what it means. So now here, what you do is basically, say this one, you have to just square it up. That's the thing. So it would be finally 2, and the factors would be 2m minus 3 the whole square, and m is also there, so you can write 2m over there, or like this. So that would be the answer. If this is very much confusing in the cubic, see, always remember, what is the power? You must have so many solutions. If you don't have so many solutions, if it's just m1, m2, in this you get x1, x2, that means one must be squared. So one is 0 over here, obviously the other one is squared. Otherwise, just take the common term as 2m, and that will solve, it'll be very, very easy. Over here it's done, right? Just put this in calculator. You will just get one single answer. I will show you. It'll be mod 5 and 3, and now you will have 4 minus 12 plus 9. And what's the answer? Only one answer. Now this we just now did, right? But you have to square it because it's just one answer. There's no two answers. In the previous case, 1 was 0. You can't square 0. It doesn't make much sense. So we square the other part. See, whatever the answer was, that's the thing. Anyways, so there are various ways to solve this problems. Choose whichever is easy for you, the calculator method or this method or anything, whichever is easy, whichever you're comfortable with. So that's how you solve this particular question. I hope it's clear. If you have any doubts, please do put them in the comment section. I will try to get back to you very soon and try to solve more and more problems, so you'll be very thorough with this.